Photographers are better than filmmakers. Hello everybody, my name is Marco Bagnoli, I'm a cinematographer. And there's one specific thing that a lot of photographers are clearly doing better than we filmmakers. And this is posing. As a filmmaker, you probably struggle a lot when you have a lot of people posing for a hero type like shot, because you don't know, okay, now there's 5 people that have to think about it. How do they have to stand? How do they pose? This is something photographers do all the time. When you're shooting commercials, you're going a lot for this kind of photography type shots. So you have to learn how to pose people. So this is the first shot we're looking at. And as you can see, we have 4 women posing for the shot. Why does this look good and not somehow really weird or something doesn't feel like she's belong there? That's how they pose. So what's special about this posing? As you can see, these are the lines that they are making. They are framing themselves and the other 2 people with her body. When the most thing you hear most of the time about posing is S-curves. So when someone is standing here, they shouldn't be standing straight. They have to make a curve with their body. So we're creating lines, leading lines and visual interest. So this is what they're doing here. With this kind of pose, first of all, they make themselves bigger. When you want great composition, you need great posing. As you can see, when I draw you a grid over here, you can see how perfectly they are posed into the scenery and how they frame the other 2 girls. The lighting on the shot is pretty easy. It's probably just a big light, like in 600D with a big light dome, just blasting into the scenery. You can see we have this really high contrast on this girl, and the roll-off over there is pretty long. And why does it still look good? Because we have this painted walls. Always think about your backgrounds. You don't want white walls. White walls are our pure enemy because we have this slightly bluish greenish color. It is complementary to our skin tones from these women, so they pop out a lot more. And the pose is strong. The clothing of the brand is really strong with this greenish texture that complements also again the background. And ending with this good pose from everyone, it really rounds up the shot. Because I told a lot of people here on this channel, it's first thing first when you want to shoot something is the most important part is your people. You need interesting people. People that are something in front of the camera, that have character, and we have just this. Every shot will look a lot better when you have some random people that are not have this special facial expressions or good acting. Your shots, never mind how good you light them and move them, will look less premium than when you have people with characteristic in front of the camera. This is the next shot from this commercial, and they strategically placed her with these leading lines in this tunnel. And again, this is real photography like position and composition of people. Because when you just want to show somebody, you can combine it with a sport element and everything else, but your edit needs time to breathe. So you don't just want every time, every shot, fast, action pace. Sometimes when it's about clothes, you want to not only show emotion, or sometimes you want to see actually the clothes. So you need these hero shots. Then you have to minimize everything around it. So here we have this neon green-like outfit here. So he really pops out in this dark tunnel. So you don't have to do a lot to make this look good, because we have great practicals here. The scenery is interesting by themselves. They just put a light with a light dome, give her a key light. Somewhere here is also an edge light. I don't know where they put it, but it's probably here is just a light above her that creates this edge light, and that's it. Because the clothing that we choose for this scenario carries the whole situation. This is the next shot from this commercial, and as you can see, again, we have this really interesting character with this big scars on her face, which gives her a unique look that you wouldn't get with a normal person. So why does this shot look so good? As you can see, we're in a big hall and we have a lot of haze in the background. But again, I tell you very often, the haze is only in the background. You don't need to haze everything. Just haze the background, because this lifts the shadows in the background and let's make your actor pop a little more, because he's still contrasty. And this is a really contrasty look. So you would think, okay, with a lot of haze, a lot of details in the background, some people would call it flat, but I think that's a really punchy look, because the highlights in the background are really bright and the blacks on her are very low, but they're not on 0. It's clearly some limiter here, but it looks very contrasty because the difference is so extreme. In big spaces like this, you use also big lights, so they put here probably the biggest butterfly they can fit, most of the time indoors, or you can put here 20 by 20, but most of the times 12 by 12. Put your HMIs or your big apertures, put a quarter diffusion frame and just blast it into the scenery to get this nice key light on her. It depends on how wide the shot is. When you get closer, you tend to diffuse it again. So you have this, and then there's another quarter or half silk diffusion for the face to get an even better roll up. But then, because light is flying all over this place, you put on a big flag to the left to get this bit of contrast. You tend to also put it a lot more like this as a neck fill. When you're using a floppy, you would also just put it close to her face, then open it and do the other part above her face so that it gets contrast around this side of the person. Because most of the time removing light is more important than adding light. The whole scene could also work just with the negative film, but you wouldn't get this nice punchy look. This is a close-up scene from the same person, and as you can see, don't fall for that big aperture propaganda. Use your 85s 1.4, your 24 1.4. I think this big sensor look still is great when your whole commercial is only about, okay, everything is bad, and then you have a blurred background. Then it's a bit boring. But when you have the possibility to make everything look great and going for this nice, isolated, creamy, high bokeh shots, do them. They look great, everyone loves them. Don't let people fool you. Do everything you like to do. This scene is also pretty interesting because we have this guy with this angel wings, really dark. And it probably works also with just one light. Here is a window and they just did one light and blasted into the scene. And what still makes this image look good is that you light the background. Background is most of the time more important than your actual actor, because this is what gives the picture most of the time contrast and dynamic. Because as you can see, maybe it's just a backlight, a window light for the background. They pulled a little LED lights to give him a bit of key. Because as you can see, he is pretty contrasty. When you just analyze the shot and would just see him, you would say, wow, that looks really bad. But it works because the emotion of the whole scenery is really gritty and dark, so it doesn't matter that you only half lit the person. People are really often scared of dark spaces in your footage or dark things on your actor. Your footage is not too dark, so there is no too dark in cinematography. When you want to have this dark, gritty look where the blacks are gone, then that's the way you shoot it. So just don't be scared to, oh, I don't have enough fill light. When it doesn't underline the emotion of the scenery, ignore it. As you can see, it looks fine. But on paper, everyone would say this is a bad shot, but it isn't. So if you enjoyed the video, I really would appreciate a subscription from you. My name is Marco Bagnoli and we'll see you next day.